The Bulldogs will be fox hunting on Sunday when they face the struggling Eels, bolstered by the inclusion of former dog Josh Addo-Carr. Not everything is going smoothly at Belmore, with Matt Burton and Viliame Kikau both sidelined with injury.
They're dancing in the streets of Belmore and the Dogs are only 2 wins into the season, but they're running low on top-end troops. First it was their star 6 Matt Burton who went down, then it was their wrecking ball back rower Viliame Kikau. Both are sidelined for at least a month.
We're going to miss those fellas in the next few weeks, but we'll get them back. Other fellas are just going to have to lift.
Are you equipped? Do you feel like the sides now and the squad is equipped to handle this sort of thing? Because they are massive outs.
Yeah, we're a lot better depth-wise than we were a few years ago. It's got some good young fellas coming through, and I think the squad's got plenty of depth and plenty of versatility about it. We'll cover the positions okay.
Satili Tupanua is an obvious kick-out replacement. Bailey Hayward can play 6 for Burton.
Have you got a scoop about who might play 5'8"?
Have to ask the coach, mate. He's got plenty of options there because we've got a lot of utility players down.
Heard that.
Yeah, a lot of utility players. We cover a lot of positions.
The injuries are mounting. Sam Hughes is a month away, as is Jacob Kiraz. There's been mystery around his hip injury.
With Kiraz, is that a concern for you long term?
I don't think so much longer term. He's just coming to terms with the fact that he didn't do a lot of training during the off-season. They don't want to rush him back. They want to make sure when he gets back that he's fit to play the full season, and they don't want to sort of play him half ready.
The Dogs will need to be on guard this week. Josh Addo-Carr is set to debut for the Eels, a few months after the Dogs sacked him.
Fastest man on the planet. Yeah, we've got to watch him, don't we?
Nervous about that?
I'm always nervous with the Fox, yeah. Whether he's playing for us or against us.
Are you happy that he's actually landed on his feet at Para?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We love the Fox, and it's unfortunate the way things ended.
No ending for Kurt Mann. He's extended his deal at the Dogs for another year. There are plenty of reasons to smile at Belmore.
Dogs are going pretty good.
Dogs are going okay.
Danny Weidler, 9 News.
For Manly, the injury news couldn't be any better. Tom Trbojevic confident he won't miss any game time with his latest hamstring issue. Injuries have depleted Penrith stocks ahead of their grand final rematch with Melbourne, but the Storm are still bracing for their toughest test of the season.
He has the most talked about hamstrings in rugby league, but this time the prognosis for Tom Trbojevic is positive.
Obviously, it was a disappointing way to finish the game, but I got some good news yesterday, so we'll see how it progresses through the week. Definitely something I'll have to manage.
The Seagulls fullback desperate to play against Canberra, as is his skipper, who was struck down with back spasms in their loss to the Warriors.
I think he'll be on a similar process to me, so we'll just have to wait and see how we both progress throughout the week. Hopefully we're both there Sunday. It's a really big game for us.
For grand final losers, there's no bigger game on the calendar than the rematch, and Melbourne are happy to admit they're being driven by revenge against the Panthers.
Obviously there's a bit of hard feelings there from last year, and I think we're going to take it personally for sure.
No one more so than Nelson Asofa Solomona, who's due to return from the suspension that ruled him out of the loss to Penrith, as long as he escapes punishment after being placed on report in Queensland Cup.
Deserves to be there. He's done a lot of hard work in the pre-season. Still burning from last year's missing out on last year's GF, so he's really hungry to get back in the team.
Melbourne know they've caught the Premiers at a dangerous time.
They don't have many bad games in a row, so I think they're going to be up for this week's game, and probably a good thing. We want to test ourselves against the best, and they're the best at the moment.
They say the absence of Dylan Edwards won't make the Panthers' backline any easier to handle.
I don't think it really matters too much about who's in those spots. They're still going to be a hard team to defend.
Nicole Dunn, 9 News.
For years, Roosters chairman Nick Politis has been adamant bitter rivals, the Rabbitohs, will never call Allianz Stadium home. But that's all about to change as 3 Sydney clubs come together to host a mini Magic Round in August.
A celebration high up in the stands to mark the announcement of the Gadu Gathering. The new concept will see 3 NRL games played across 3 days at Allianz Stadium, headlining Indigenous Round.
Hopefully give some little kids some dreams to chase and, represent our culture.
The Roosters, Tigers and Rabbitohs hosting home games. Nick Politis' Bunnies band Broken.
You're happy to rent it out for just one night to the arch rival?
Yeah, just for 1 week, one weekend.
Connor Watson wary of his Roosters revelling in their incredible victory over the Premiers for too long.
As good as round 2 was, it's a long year and we've also got to, not ride the coattails of that win too much. We go to New Zealand tomorrow. we got work to do over there, and that win's done now. We've got to focus on the Warriors.
Cody Walker is loving life, playing alongside Jamie Humphries. The veteran very impressed by the rookie Rabbit.
He's very composed and very calm. Feels like nothing really phases him.
The halfback's form meant Lewis Dodd was relegated to reserve grade last weekend. Walker hitting back at suggestions the English import won't make his mark in the NRL.
If he was kicking stones, you wouldn't think it or you wouldn't see it with his body language and his effort and energy around training. So he's shown on the weekend that he played an unreal game and scored a try and he kicked really well. So I'm sure Lewis's time will come.
Zach Bailey, 9 News.